Oh yeah. Time to go to Walmart. Oh yeah. Whoa, it's cold out. I'm supposed to let the car rest for like, you know how long the neighbors let the car rest for? Regardless of what time of year it is? 45 minutes or an hour. They're loud, sounding like a diesel car. Probably is diesel. Yeah, I'm just gonna start my car at 4 in the morning because I leave for work at 5. So I'll just let it run right next to your window for an hour. Okay. So I have $80, which is more than I thought. So that means I can get like, I don't really know yet. I'm thinking of macaroni. I'm also pretty sure they're listening to me in real time. Not exactly sure how they're doing that. But if I talk about what I'm gonna get, they'll have some extra bullshit there. Like if I say I'm gonna get some I don't know, a new cord for my headphones. Then when I go to the section in the store where they have a cord, they'll have some kind of extra, more than normal street theater bullshit, harassment, someone walking into me. So sometimes I don't really want to say what I'm gonna get, but whatever, you know. This car is a gangstalker probably. They might be turning right pretty soon. Oh, wow, that's not what I expected at all. As far as I know, this is not a gangstalking neighbor here. You know, this neighbor where this car is pulled in, I've never seen this one here before. So that's an odd. Oh, you know, it's not gangstalking. That's just someone delivering a package. Okay. Sometimes I get on a roll and I don't want to guess wrong, but I don't mind to guess wrong. Okay, so what do I want to get at the store? Ooh, I don't know. Well, there's vegan chicken. I have $80. I didn't know I had that much money, so that's to last me for the rest of the month, and so that means I can get buffalo sauce. And the thing about shopping as a targeted individual is you get a bunch of groceries and they can poison them. So there's a reason then to only buy enough groceries for that day. And this is a gangstalker right here. This woman, you see how she just turned around? This woman is one of the main gangstalkers. So if I go out for a little walk, she'll be quite often the one to follow me. She lives just a few doors down. And she's out there quick on the draw with her dog. And I've walked into the parking lot across the street, and she's followed me into the parking lot, which is like a huge parking lot. Like, just, it was a very obvious following. Like, even someone who's not being gangstalked and doesn't know what gangstalking is, even they would say like, wow, like you left your house and this woman down the street left her house, and you walked into a long empty parking lot, like a football field's depth into an empty parking lot, going nowhere in particular. And she walked her dog into the empty parking lot too, following you. And then you turned around, and then she turned around. And she'll be like standing there too, like I'll get home, and she'll be standing in front of her house and she's just staring at me. Real nasty, real creepy. And her dog looks, I don't like to make fun of animals, like that's low, but I have to say it, her dog looks, her dog is ugly. Like just plainly, her dog is ugly. Okay, I'm not gonna go. I'm not in any hurry. I might want to get salt too. I don't really want to buy salt because it's heavy, it's hard to carry. But, I'm glad there's a one headlighter. I'm glad for the sake of documentation as well. So I just saw that one headlighter. Normally right now after I'm turning left is when I would see the one headlighter. But because I just saw that one headlighter there, I might not see one on this stretch of road. In the next 20 seconds is normally when I'd see the one headlighter. So I'm glad to document some of the gangstalkers. I'm happy to go out for a morning road trip. It seems we had a break-in yesterday. Yesterday I went outside, my camera didn't work because there's this guy across the street. He's old. He looks like he has progeria. He's like 80 years old. He has long hair, which I didn't know until yesterday. He revs his engine for like up to 40 minutes in a night. That's the longest he's done it. But every single night for the last 3 years at least, multiple times a day and night, he does noise campaigning with his loud muffler. He just sits in the parking lot and he goes rum, 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 for like 40 minutes. Not always 40 minutes, that's the longest he's done it for, but I mean that's pretty extremely obnoxious. And he has a hunchback. I see him from my yard. I've filmed him, I've put him on YouTube, I've posted him on Quora. And he usually has a bag with him. I've wondered what's in his bag, if it's dew weapons. And so yesterday I hear his car revving like crazy, but it sounds like he's having some trouble. So I put on my GoPro and it's like noon. And I walk over and I see him. Here's a one headlighter. And I see that he has long hair, and I see that he's getting towed. So I walk up to him, and who looks like his daughter. I wave to them, and she waves back, and I'm like, wow, like this is like the Wizard of Oz. Like he has like this big like vroom vroom, like this loud obnoxious car, and then I go see him, and he looks like he has progeria. Like it's like he's so. I'm not body shaming here. I'm saying the contrast. Like he's projecting himself as this larger than life figure with this crazy loud exhaust, and then he has like burnt spiderweb hair, long hair. I've never seen an old guy with long hair like that. He had an oxygen mask. Oh shit! It's fucking windy. Oh my god. Holy shit! It's fucking really windy out here. My god. And so that's against the rules. Like for me to go out in the daytime, they punish that. Like even my going out right now, that could be like I might get an assault, I might get a vehicular assault threat, or even an attempted vehicular assault. And the assault might not be much. Here's a gangstalker that I recognize just from frequency with the backpack here. Woo. Wow, it's really cold. And so yesterday, because I went out at noon, and especially because I walked over to the gangstalkers to film them, I figured they would be breaking into our house. And so then when I left my room this morning and I went downstairs, I found a microphone. I found a part of my microphone on the floor, like far away from the kitchen table, which is where I keep my microphones. And it was also part of a microphone that I don't use, that I haven't used in like a long time. So I figured, how did that get on the floor? I think that was probably a break-in. And that's stressful, but it's there's a lot of emotions that you feel. And then there's kind of a numbness factor. Eventually you go through it enough times. But this macaroni is fucking awesome. This is like the best macaroni. Now something really bad just happened. My TLC tugger fell off. Thankfully I'm wearing big boots, so if it falls down my pants, which it has, it's going to get caught up in my boots and I won't lose it. So, but I hate not wearing it. It's a very sick, vulgar thing to have, forgive my language, an exposed glands. It's a vulgar thing. Okay. Well, what do I need here? And the other thing too is carrying the groceries is difficult. Oh, and here's another thing too. So I got these rechargeable batteries. This has been on my mind. So I have this Zoom recorder here, and when that light goes off, that orange light, that means the batteries are running low. And I just bought brand new rechargeable batteries on eBay for like $6 for 2 AAAs, and they're 700 milliamp. And this recorder usually works for like 10 hours, but with these batteries it only works for like 2 hours, and at least until it starts going orange, which means it's at like middle batteries, or I don't know, like 60%. And then when it flashes orange, it means like 40%, and then when it eventually it'll flash red. But anyways, so I was thinking these batteries suck, but they're only 700 milliamps, and I was used to like 1100 milliamp batteries, in which case I don't think the Zoom recorder, I don't think it measures the battery based off the this is a gangstalker right here. I don't think it measures the, what am I looking for? Oh, sauce. The battery capacity in a ratio. I think it just says, well, a normal battery is 1100 milliamps. So by the time it gets to 700, it's already halfway through, so the orange light goes on. So therefore, the I'm gonna get the big bottle. Therefore, do you know what I'm trying to say? My mind is wandering here. I also have to get bubbly. Therefore, I think you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, should I get some chips? I don't really know. Okay, and do I ever feel bad for the gangstalkers? Like, oh, they're just human trafficked. Like, they're just victims. I don't think I feel anything for them. And if I do, I think that's accidental. Like, if I feel really hateful towards them, I'm not like, oh, that was good. Like, if I get angry and I'm like wishing like that they have to live in a jar, like how they fuse people's bones. Like, there are like these tribes, and they kidnap babies and they put them in jars, and they grow them, they keep them alive in jars, and then their bones break under the pressure of the jar. And then by the time they're old, they let them out of the jar, and their whole body is shaped like a square or something. And I thought the gangstalkers should have to live in jars. You know, there's no horror movie that is horrifying enough that it could demonstrate the type of horror that they should be subjected to, and fuck them, and I hate them. And whenever I go there, whenever I feel like genuinely anger, like really like uncontrollable, like I'm really pissed, like I'm fucking red hot pissed. I'm never like, oh, that was great. That was really great. And also, if I have compassion on them, maybe that's a better thing. Like, also, if I'm like, oh, well, they're actually victims too, and actually they love me. They don't want to be doing this, and there's so many people, probably in the police, who are trying to protect me. So many gangstalkers who really appreciate me, and they don't want to be doing this. When I think that, then I get disappointed too after one of them tries to commit a vehicular assault or something. Then I'm like, no, you guys, $44. Oh my God. That's too expensive. Print only. That's too expensive. Okay. Yeah, return. Too many tabs. What does that mean? 10, 15. I gotta get the receipt for this because this seems like I paid too much here. Okay, so we have 797. Okay. Hi. I messed up. I got you see those two 797. I think that's this right here, and I only have one of those. Or maybe it's actually no, it's this. Yeah, but it's this, I think.
Yeah, you bought 4 of these.
But you see 797 times.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, not that.
Yeah,
The 797.
797.
Two 797s. Frank's Red Hot.
Oh.
But I only have one Frank's Red Hot.
It's okay. You have to go to the customer service for that.
Okay.
I can't fix it. Sorry
Okay,
about
that's
that.
okay. Okay. My God. This is terrible. Hello. I just did the self-checkout, and I bought 2 of these by accident, but I actually have one.
Okay,
So I have my receipt right here.
thank you. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your debit.
Okay. Sweet.
Signature.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was thinking that's way too expensive. $7.97 too much. Yeah, but it's not that simple. It's not just like, well, don't hate them and don't love them either. You know, you can kind of sense it out with and the other thing is, even if they're gleefully, delightfully taking joy in it, they could be like drugged out. Like they could be gangstalking for drugs. You know, like just because you take pleasure in gangstalking doesn't mean that it's your choice. Like if you're signed up for the program, regardless if you want to, go ahead and enjoy it. You know, it's your world, CIA. You know, I don't know, but ultimately, I don't really pay too much. I don't really pay too much mind. I don't really focus on the gangstalkers too much, actually. I don't really feel either way towards them so much. The people I feel for are the people I watch on YouTube, the people I talk to on Quora, and that's about it. And the rest of the world doesn't really exist in my eyes. Whew. Now, if you watched my last video on my microphone when I was like water fasting, I have this Shure SM11, and I finally got the right preamp for it on Amazon, which is awesome because I can return it if it doesn't work, but I think it will work. It's made in Italy. Someone described it as the Ferrari of preamps, and has lots of gain, and it's just exactly what I want. It's not like too much. If you buy a recorder, you're gonna get all the stuff you're paying for that you're not using. This is only paying for what I'm using, so it's like the maximum quality, the maximum cheapness. It's just one XLR input, a preamp, all analog, so it doesn't convert it to digital, so I can keep my 32-bit recording, and I'll never clip. I can scream into the mic as loud as I can, and it'll never clip. And it's a huge lav mic, a Shure SM11. It sounds like a desktop mic. It sounds like a Shure SM58. It sounds like a podcast mic. And so I have this preamp coming in the mail, and it was cheaper than anything else I could have found, really. And, well, what else? You know, I don't know. I'm excited about it. I've been wanting to use my Shure SM11 for a long time. Woo! It's so cold outside. Well, yeah, I felt helped by the cops too. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Do I feel helped by them anymore? I don't know. I'm totally unaware. Like, for example, I used to write on a blog, and I was like, please help me, police. I knew the police were reading. And I wrote, like, you know, I'm going to go to the store today, and here's where I'm going to see certain gangstalkers, and here are their descriptions. And back then, I didn't know the gravity of gangstalking. I didn't know how many gangstalkers there were. I thought it was just a local group of people. And, you know, since it was really freaking me out, they did use specifically certain gangstalkers. Now it's more like random. You know, now there are certain ones, but it's not so, or maybe it was always a whole bunch of them, but I just didn't know, and I only noticed certain ones. But the certain ones I described, and the location of, like, a gangstalker house, for example, which is coming up here on the right, I was like, this is a gangstalker house, and when I left the house, the police were waiting at that house that I described. And then they drove by me while the gangstalkers were walking by me. Like, each one, like I was like, oh my God, like they're showing me that they see, that they're aware of the gangstalkers. And, you know, and they're protecting me. And then there was this other gang stalker who I described, and he came to our house as a salesman for Rogers, and my mom let him in, and and while he was there, the police were outside. They were parked outside of our house. And I thought, the police are protecting me, Here's one headlighter. The police are protecting me. Now, how do I interpret that in hindsight? Could it be the police were showing me, look, there's one headlighter, one fog lighter. We're aware of what's happening and we're not doing anything. You see, look, we totally know they're stalking you, and we're showing you that we're part of it. So, you thought you had a friend, but surprise, we're here to gang stalk you. We fully endorse this shit. What? Well, there's people who think there are different points of view on this. Some people think, no, there are people in the CIA and the FBI who know how fucked this is, and they're trying to stop it. And they can easily be gang stalked too. There's so much bad shit can happen to them. They're trying in as subtle as possible to help us. And there are other people who say, no, they're all fucking garbage. Get them out of here. And where I stand on it, I really don't know. And I sort of don't care, I have no way of knowing, so it's not that I'm apathetic. It's that to try to figure it out. As someone who has an OCD type personality, if you try to figure something out that is impossible to figure out, you can make yourself go crazy. And I don't want to do that. So, anyways, I'm going to make 2 trips here. These are some really good groceries. I really should have got butter. Can't believe I spent $40. Ooh, which is a book. I need to tell you. Fuck you, Zing boy. Oh yeah. While I'm out here, I'll show you something crazy. Okay, so if you see, when I go to the bathroom, there's a view out the window of this street over here. Now, if you can see, you see that first house, the second house, the third house, there's a white SUV in the driveway. And when I go to the bathroom, this whole strip is visible from the window. And that car in particular, that SUV, the third white SUV down there, will set its lights off with a key fob. And maybe it's I think it's the same one. I mean, I saw it early this morning and it had snow all over it, and it doesn't have snow on it right now, so maybe it's a different one, but I think it was that house. But it's a common thing. So and it's some other houses too. A lot of these houses are gang stalkers. So I look out the window, or I just walk by the window, and I'll see the flashing of the car lights, and they're timing it. They know when I'm walking out of my bedroom going to the kitchen, and they time it so that when I walk by the bathroom, because you can even see out the bathroom window from the hallway, and they'll do it on this side too. Like if I'm in the living room, like wherever there's visibility from whatever window I could have in my peripheral vision, or I'm looking out of, they'll have cars, people flash their lights, which I mean that's pretty cunning. The book. Pretty creepy.